I want to welcome you guys to this next episode of the Good Negros. We are the Good Negros on camera. Thank
Andre
you.
Brooks.
Jinx, thank you for being in the Good
Yeah.
Negros tribe.
Thank you.
And apparently we're talking about what?
Well, I mean,
BBLs. Wait,
yeah,
what is a BBL?
So we're talking about the Brazilian butt lift. It's been in,
that thing.
kind
I
of
like
pop culture, news, that stuff lately. There have been talks on Code Switch, Red Table Talks, the song Rumors with Cardi B and Lizzo kind of sparked some discussion about it.
I mean, Nicki Minaj. There have been a lot of people that have been.
I'm sure Little Kim, too.
Little Kim, the other Kim.
Who's the other? Oh, yes.
You can't tell me nothing.
Mm-hmm. Well, isn't that wild, though, too? Like, the BBL is like one of those things where people keep pushing it as if it's like a totally black thing, but like white women are all over it. Like I've seen tons of white strippers with like these fetishized black bodies and fetishized black asses.
I can't even say black bodies at this point because a lot of it is just anatomically incorrect. No? You look at me
I think, well, the reason I looked at you because black women do have bigger asses.
They do, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
My dad would actually, now bringing up my dad, but he believes the women in Amsterdam, I guess Holland, have big asses because Holland used to be underwater, so they had to lift their feet out of the mud, and that's.
Shout out to your dad.
I swear to God, yeah. So,
I don't know that to be
so you
true
don't need a BBL if you go to Holland. You just step in the mud. Okay.
That's probably not how that works.
Okay, I'm sure.
Yeah. So the Brazilian butt lift. What do we know about it? We've seen people. Now we're questioning the booties, right? You see the booties and you see them walking, and you're like,
Yeah.
I wonder.
It's so wild because when I see it often, again, it's usually with white women. I actually know with black women too because I'll see them in the airport, and I live in Atlanta, so I see them walking down the street, and you're just like, is that real? And then you see that little cuff, like where it hits the leg, it doesn't look right. To me,
yeah, but even women's bodies are so interesting and so unique in their own sense. Like even I don't know. Like I look at myself sometimes and be like, that just looks a little weird. It almost looks like not that I have a butt implant because I nowhere near have that much booty.
I mean,
I should have walked in with
some cheeks. Okay, Jinx. Okay, you have plenty of cheeks. All right.
Nah,
well, and that's the thing.
With the
like.
cheeks.
I don't know where all this pressure has come from for people to go out there and like push for something that's not real. Like it's usually when you see them, you know it.
But it's always been this way. Women's bodies, and this is part of the problem that I have with it, right? I was out at One Music Fest. Shout out to One Music Fest. Jay Carter,
One
Motown
Music
League.
Fest. Yeah.
So dope. Here in Atlanta, the Music Fest that is like off the chain. And I saw so many just naturally beautiful women. And I really sat there for a minute and just took account of how varying the body types are, right? And none of them were Coke bottle shaped or had this huge ass, but they all had something very naturally beautiful about themselves. And I don't think, especially for women, we don't give women's natural essence enough like credit. Right? And so women have always been fetishized, and no matter if you were sitting here with your shirt off, nobody would say anything. The second
women would probably swoon.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Now, if I came out here topless and sat down, it would be a whole issue. Who said that your nipples were less sexy than my nipples?
Maybe we should see, James. I don't know. Because I don't think people would care. Okay, people
wouldn't care if we were both topless here.
Yeah. I mean, we live in a very mature society.
I think we're going to remix our show. Yeah. It's going to be the topless Negros.
No. Actually, we probably make a lot more money off that, for sure. But
it's awful.
Yeah, I mean.
So the pressure's not new. It used to be Pamela Anderson with the big boobs, right?
Okay, right.
And so back then, nobody cared about the butt, but it was all about what you had up here. And I remember being a little girl and looking at her. I was like, I'm never going to have those.
Wow.
And as I got older, I mean, now I don't care, thankfully. But when you grow up in this social media society, I'm terrified for young girls specifically.
So, yeah.
And now it's the butts.
Well, and that's my thing, because I remember in junior high, I'm like, I don't remember like white women with ass. I don't know if they used to hide it or people are getting Brazilian butt lifts, but like there's pressure to have ass these days. I mean, my understanding, they make pants that accentuate your ass, right? You don't know?
Yeah, they do kind of create them in a form that's more flattering to your butt. And then they have some that they have the underwear that have butt in them, the underwear that lift your butt. Like they have everything.
really?
Yeah. They're like the little Prince underwear so that they kind of cuff your cheeks. And then it's a lot. But to what you were saying about never having noticed white women with a lot of ass, I learned as I was listening to NPR.
Great show.
Love NPR.
Channel, yeah.
They used to actually, white women used to actually pay to have less butt.
And now they're looking like fetishized black women. Like they're pushing that.
Mind blown though. But so the question that I have to ask though is it really you that wants what you want, right? We're sitting here telling ourselves that, oh, I'm just doing this to make myself feel better. Yeah, maybe a little bit, but it's based off of the pressure that society is putting on you, telling you that A, B, and C is the beauty standard. The reason why black women do what they do with straight hair, I'm sorry if this is getting touchy, right? But
hey,
right?
Yeah.
Because the beauty standard, the default beauty standard for decades has been the white woman with the long straight hair, and we do all those things because we are told to be a certain kind of way.
Right. I think social media now is first. Black people have always run culture, like all popular culture, we push it, and I think with social media, it's pushed the looks of black women. So and I think it also makes black women feel like they need it, right? Because I mean, aren't there black women out there like I've seen black women that are slim with nice bodies that are like, I just wish I had ass.
Oh my God,
or they like
right?
buy thick products. Like, I'm gonna get that. I'm a girl. I'm gonna go get me some thick.
I don't know what that is.
Huh? It's like thick drinks or thick pills.
Oh,
It's like a
gosh.
pill. Maybe it's made out of molasses.
Again, we don't appreciate the natural diversity of beautiful bodies, period, in women, right? I mean, women and men, but we're talking about women right now, so women.
Let me ask you: do you ever feel at points in your life have you felt pressure to, to look a certain way or to like have the body of this fictionalized black woman?
So yes and no, right? It's twofold. So no, I don't want to be cookie cutter. Knowing me, I like to live on the outskirts a little
Right.
bit. Like I'm more the rebel. That y'all are doing this, I'm gonna do this. None of that being cookie cutter and looking like everybody else, and that's really what it's looking like right now. There's not a lot of diversity in overall. The aesthetic is, it looks like everybody got popped out of a form, right? So no, I don't want that. But there are moments where I'm like, oh, if this could go away, this little pouch thing, like we were just talking about, like the way that some of these women's stomachs are flat is so unrealistic, and we're sitting here thinking it's natural, especially
Or you don't
once
have
you
the
get
time. I mean, most people can't work out like professional athletes, but there are women that do, and I don't think we realize we're looking at someone that may exercise or work out like a professional athlete, like at the same level.
If you got it like that, look, more power to you, and I appreciate and I love you for it, and I wish I had the discipline. I'm gonna keep trying.
Yeah, and I'm just going for wealth belly, but
Me too.
don't make me pull out this wallet.
Oh, the wallet. Okay, well, I'm
where's my
good.
wallet? Okay. Oh Lord, yeah.
I don't know what you be pulling out on the show. Talking about the whole Nude Negros concept. We're not.
Okay, we're not going to the Nude Negros. Okay.
The naked Negroes, the shirtless. Oh.
But it's interesting too because I'm wondering how much. So it's the internet and it's also like stripper culture.
It is very.
Because I think strippers were the first people to get the BBLs, and it's pushing into
mainstream culture.
Mainstream culture, where
It
there's
is.
like regular women that like work at Publix, like
that are putting their little $5,000 to $10,000 together. So let's talk about that whole process, right? Because the BBLs are not safe according to plastic surgery standards,
Correct.
right? So I know you're in the medical field, so I'll let you talk about that.
I mean, I'm looking at some of the numbers they say.
Because you do BBLs in your weight loss clinic?
No, we totally don't. It's the mortality rate is 1 out of 3,000.
So put that in perspective for somebody that doesn't know.
Regular surgery should be like 1 in 15 to 20,000. So that means it's 5 to 6.5 times
5 to 8
more
times.
deadly. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's pretty dangerous actually, for something that you don't need. It's weird though, because like I dated a girl that had breast implants, and she had some of the best breasts I'd ever seen. And even if I mentioned it, I'd be like, these are nice breasts. She would be like, oh, I got them from doctor. And I'm like, you don't have to say that. But I was cool with it because it made her feel better. And it was artistically, it worked. Like, it worked with her body. But, like, I also know women with BBLs that are in the I hate saying sex workers because it sounds like they actually have sex with people, but they work in like the OnlyFans stripping world, and they have the BBLs, and they look like you almost are like, you were fine before this. You didn't need this. And I guess for them it's an economic thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're not going to be able to make that money forever.
And a lot of this stuff, so what I gathered was a lot of this stuff is still very experimental. There's no guarantees as to what this will look like 5 to 10 years down the road.
Oh, right.
And
do you know how new it is?
Yes and
15,
no.
20 years old, maybe?
It was on one of them, and I didn't take the notes. I don't
But I
remember.
mean, it's like, it's not a new surgery. It's not, like, they've been doing breast implants probably for 50 years.
Sure.
Right.
But breast implants, like the BBL specifically, came out of Brazil.
Right. It's in the name.
Yeah, which is also an interesting backstory to that, because a lot of the eugenics, clinics is not the word, right? But a lot of eugenics was, said, don't touch the microphone. I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't. It's not your house.
He said, make it follow me. That's what he has said.
Okay.
Okay, so make it follow me.
Okay, there you go.
I don't know. So
It's
anyway,
not a gangster hold.
Not,
Yeah.
no. This mic's dedicated. I'm sorry. So anyway, what had happened was, my understanding is that a lot of the eugenics took place out of Brazil, right? So in Brazil, the Caucasian Brazilians of Caucasian descent,
Right,
European
which is very
descent,
few of them.
they decided they wanted to get rid of their butts and anything that made them feel too
Oh, wow. Too
African, too black, and they would disassociate themselves and use surgery to do so, right? And so in that same culture, they flipped the script somehow and then introduced BBL as the next best thing to come out of Brazil. So it's very interesting and mind-boggling when you know the background of it.
We're back to the black body. I mean, I was reading
black women are phenomenal, right?
Well, and they've been hypersexualized throughout the entire world.
Yes,
so
they have.
that's part of it too. Like, now that we're cool with seeing sexualized people on TV and our media. I mean, Instagram, one of my buddies was like, dude, Instagram is like porn. And I'm like, you really should just follow your regular friends and you'll see like people's kids.
It'll be less pointy.
But
yeah.
that search page, I don't even want to pull mine up.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I can't help. If I see a woman on there, I'll be like, ooh, let me see that. And push it, which is sexualizing them. And I mean, at some level it's natural, but I think we cross the line once we start getting outrageous with body sculpting. Once people want to do that. Because to be real, I think...
And then you want to show it off, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think if it makes you feel better, it's okay, but I just think there is a line. And I also don't think you should be putting your life at risk for stuff.
One of the ladies that was having a discussion, who was being interviewed on this NPR interview, she said, you know, she was a stripper. She was a white lady from what it sounded like. And she said it didn't make her feel any better. Like, she still had the same insecurities.
Right.
The same exact insecurities. And that's the thing, right? Because none of those things actually address the root core of the issue. You're just trying to put a Band-Aid on something and hope that it makes something else go away.
It's kind of like people that move because they're like struggling in a city and they're like, man, I'm about to just move.
Because it's better over there.
It's better in Texas.
This relationship ain't it. I'm going to go to that one.
You just
it's
take the same shit to Texas.
Yeah.
Now, there's a great book called The Myths of Happiness. And I think people believe external things are what make them happy. And it could be a marriage. It could be children. It could be a big, fat, thick ass, fat ass.
Big, fat, thick ass, fat ass. Got it.
And you're going to find out, too, walking down the street, that that's not always the move, too. I'm sure young thickness.
That gets tiring.
I'm sure. Is that how you've experienced
it? It ain't for my ass.
No,
but
that's why I've gotten out of shape. Because when I was in shape,
it was too much.
It was just too much.
It was too overbearing for you.
And now
I can see that.
I can just, walk around normal.
Now you're a global majority.
Exactly. Which is black people.
And I'm real dope. Shout out to D.L. Warfield.
Look at that product placement. Yeah.
Hey.
So,
That's awful.
Yeah.
See, that was not, it does not have to be a sexual thing because I do this, because this is just a natural body part, right? And if you did it, you do it. Go do it.
Jinx, I don't know how to do it because I don't have anything to shake me, my body in the front.
Yes, you do. Just do this.
Jinx,
do
I
this,
don't
do
have
this,
nothing to
and
shake me. No. Okay. As we leave, though, what do you think about? Do you think
I ain't done?
Oh, okay.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I'm always thinking about like, you know, Facebook and them been in the news with like their algorithms that just keep pushing this, and kind of like me, like I said, my search page I'm embarrassed because your search page on Instagram
Is a reflection.
literally is a reflection of who you are as a human being.
Oh wow!
And
as a whole human being.
yes, that's why I make sure I click on dogs, food, bikes,
And porn.
and golf,
And porn.
and lots of
and
golf,
lots of porn.
And I just really want my stuff
and
not
BBLs.
to just be. You know that dance where they. Yeah. So I don't, I just don't want.
Do it again.
I don't want that. So, but the algorithms just push that to you, and I am kind of concerned about younger women because
Young girls.
they're going to be pushed that at that time of their life where they're trying to just come to grips with their bodies, and this is the social media for teens is unbelifically. That didn't exist for me.
But the problem is Facebook knows this, right?
Yeah.
They know how detrimental it is, it's specifically for young girls. And they do nothing, right? And not even that. They know that pushing negative content toward people gets them more engagement. And so they continue to push negative content onto people. Maybe. So it literally aids you in being like, if you weren't depressed, now you you will be depressed. If you were depressed, you're more depressed. It's problematic.
Which might make you go get a big fat
BBL.
Big ass. I wonder if you don't have fat, can you even get a BBL?
No, because it's a process of transferring fat from one area to another. So that's why these flat tummies come in, because it's all sucked out of here and it's put on the booty.
But I mean,
so
who has
can
that
we
much
can we
fat?
let the pudge come back? Like there's a little
let the pudge
okay.
come back, y'all. Let
Can
the
we-
pudge come back. It's fine.
I don't want it. I'm gonna hate it when I see it on camera, but that's the extra 10 pounds the camera puts
Oh,
on you.
that's only the OnlyFans side of our page where you get to.
Where we get to do the Nude Negros. The Nude Negros only on OnlyFans.
Well, there you go.
All right. On that note, I'm out because
Yeah,
I'm
me
not going
too.
to be
Because
part of
I'm
this
not
no
being
more.
on OnlyFans either. Okay. So there you go, folks.
Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for
I
tuning
hope you
in.
learned something. I am Jinx,
I'm Andre Brooks,
and I guess we are.
the Good Negros.
Wow.
And there it is. And guess what? I don't have a BBL.
I'm getting one tomorrow. I'm coming back in here tomorrow. Next time we
Listen,
shoot.
there's a place for small cheeks, y'all. Little cheeks.
Little
As
booties
long
matter.
as there's some grip to it, I'm fine. Well, and it's not only about me. I'm letting you know that all men are fine.
But so no, let's talk about this though. What if we judged you by how your balls sagged?
I mean, Jinx, no one can see my balls.
But that's the point. But so boobs, okay?
I can see your boobs.
So
right,
let's
right
see.
To your shirt.
No. Let's see. Let's say your balls had to be like round plums and had to be perky at all times, and that's how we judged you.
That's not how everyone's balls are. That's what I. There's people out here with saggy balls. Lord, that must suck. My God.
That must suck.
Women, do
Pause.
you women laugh at them when you see these saggy balls? My God.